I'm Elli Keyte, Biosecurity Officer for Northern Tablelands Local Land Services. In this video, I will discuss how to effectively free feed to achieve better results when undertaking baiting or trapping for the control of feral pigs. Free feeding allows the feral pigs to become accustomed to the grain and interact with the bait or trap site. Persistence with free feeding will achieve greater population knockdown as you have more pigs visiting the area. It has been shown in some cases that feral pig populations can almost double with just a few extra nights of free feeding, so it is important to put in the extra work because you'll achieve much greater results. It is really important to make sure that the free feed is available and abundant to the feral pigs. So you really want to make sure that you're taking the free feed to the feral pig hotspots. Feral pig hotspots can include watering points, preferred feeding areas, travel pads or swampy areas. Keep an eye out for sign in these areas such as wallowing, feces, tracks, holes in fences or crop damage. These are really the areas that you want to target for your bait placement or where you want to set up your trap. Remote cameras are a great tool to use because you can identify feral pig activity and numbers visiting the site. The most common bait type used in the Northern Tablelands is grain. You want to be using a grain that the pigs are familiar with and that is readily available. And you want to continue to use this grain for the entire free feeding process and when undertaking trapping or baiting. To attract the pigs to the grain, you can use molasses, vanilla essence or carrot sweet as an attractant. Another way to attract the pigs to the grain is allowing the grain to soak in water for 3 to 5 days. The fermented grain has a foul smell which therefore attracts more pigs to the area. When putting out your free feed, you want to make sure you're not putting it in a big pile, but rather trailing it out in a line or in a few small piles a few feet apart. This is to make sure that the dominant pigs aren't accessing all of the grain and your shy feeders are able to get a feed. When undertaking a baiting program for feral pigs, free feeding is extremely important. Farmers always come in and ask, so how much grain should I be using? And unfortunately we can't determine how much unless you're free feeding. When starting off free feeding, you should put out a small amount of grain and see how much the pigs are consuming. If they're consuming all of the grain in the first night, you want to continually increase. As per the pesticide control order, it is compulsory to do at least 3 feeds. But as discussed previously, the longer that you free feed for, the more pigs you'll attract to the site. So you want to keep increasing this amount until the pigs are leaving a little bit left over and their consumption is no longer increasing. This is really important because it allows us to work out how many kilograms of grain to apply the poison to, so there is none left to clean up after the baiting. It is also important to free feed so that you can determine if there's any other non-target species accessing the grain. For trapping, you want to make sure that you're free feeding for at least 7 to 10 days. This time frame varies, but you want to be making sure that you have both gates open and you're trailing grain through the entrance around the back of the trap so that all pigs can have access. Once the pigs are freely entering and exiting the trap, you can then set the training gate. You want to apply a large amount of grain in the entrance to the trap so they're learning to push in and out. Once you are comfortable that the pigs are entering and exiting the trap and consuming all of the grain, then you can set the gate. This is very important, this step-by-step process, as it maximises the amount of animals that are captured. It is important to note that feral pig control is best undertaken when food and water resources are low, as they are more likely to congregate around water points and come onto the free feed. So whilst I've just explained that free feeding is vitally important, so is your timing of control. Persistence with free feeding is ultimately the most important step when undertaking baiting and trapping. So if you put in the work, you'll reap the rewards. If you need any assistance with feral pig control, please contact your local biosecurity officer. We are here to help.